All right. We got ourselves a banging quarterfinals match from the EPT North American Weekly. Down here, or up here in the top left, we have the Korean Invader, Kua, an absolute beast, and one of the members of my Casters Civil War, not War Chest Team League, it's Casters Civil War this time. Opponent in the bottom right, it's Alpha X ASTREA, fighting for the pride of North America and defending their territory. And he's going to be opening up with a very cheeky build, guys. That looks like a Maximus Paximus if I've ever seen one. But knowing ASTREA, he might even do a crazy 2-gate or something like that. So he's gone for his first pylon on the other side. And actually, yeah, it should be 2 gates. Because if with a Max Pax, you'd build a pylon at home and you'd be building this gateway on 17 supply, wouldn't you? So he's going to go 2-gate proxy. Kua does like to delay his scout and sometimes not scout at all. So it's going to be a bit of a bummer for him now. ASTREA, he's going to pretend the probe is coming in from a normal angle. By sending it back here, he also delays the probe. You might be like, doesn't that delay your scouting? Keep in mind, that makes it look more like he scouted after gateway. So Kua's like, oh yeah, you just put down a gateway and then you came to scout, right? Whereas if he went straight from putting these gateways down to going in, Kua would be like, whoa, that's a weird timing. That's too late for a pylon scout, but also too early for a gate scout. And in general, that, you know, it's a bit sus. And this SCV is going out to scout, so it's the 18 SCV scout for Kua, but on a map this big, you're well and committed to your command center by the time this SCV gives you any useful information. So I don't really like the 18 SCV scout. I've always found it being, you know, is very risky. And oh, he actually delays his marine. He cancels it, builds the command center, now starts the marine. That means he's playing really quick factory. And ASTREA's like, lol, 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 I'm going to keep your base open. And I actually think he put this pylon down a little too early. Ideally, he cancels that and rebuilds it. Command center gets canceled. Kua sees no expansion and is like, nope. Can he wall this off? Can he wall this off? Can he wall this off? Oh my god, another pylon goes down. So well done. So well done. Okay, that bunker's not a wall off. He needs another building here. And another depot goes down just in time. Very nice, but that means these SCVs are exposed. 2 SCVs already going down. The bunker could get attacked. That Zealot needs to shuffle over. The Zealot should work on the bunker. If he attacked the bunker with both SCVs, it would go down. With both Zealots, sorry, but the Marine there gets that Zealot very low. He's going to go shield batteries on the front as well. But wait, this is post-patch. ASTREA! This is post-patch, mate. These batteries, when they go up, they're only going to have half energy. Notice there, it's only got 50 energy. So he only gets 150 shields healing instantly out of it, not the full 300 that they used to have. ASTREA going for a nasty attack here, but his Zealots are very weak. The shield batteries aren't up yet. He does have a Cyber Core, so we can go into Adepts and then Stalkers behind this as well. But it feels like Kua, 4 Marines getting into the bunker, has defended it. He's got a factory with a tech lab, no command center. I do think ASTREA needs to expand, and knowing ASTREA, he's going to want to take a gold base after this. Ooh, loses 1 Zealot, and another Zealot almost goes down. Okay, he's got to be careful though. He's got to stay in range of the shield batteries, but there's just not that much healing available, man. Just not that much healing. You can see if he had an extra couple hundred, he might be able to burn this depot down with the Adepts, hitting the SCVs over the wall. You can see how this strategy works to do a lot more damage, but he just wasn't able to in this case, and so he's got to send a probe out. Already an SCV down here. This probe is going to head to that gold base. Yeah, you can see he's clicked it over there on the left of our screen. And he's still trying to get more damage done. He's got to be real careful here, though, man. That bunker reaches pretty deep on that ramp. SCV in the main base, scouting around, and ASTREA goes for the gold. This is a very clever strategy from ASTREA, but I think with the shield batteries being nerfed, it is much weaker. It's a much weaker strategy now. And, yeah, it's a really dirty build, which we've seen him kill a lot of players with this sort of build, even in PvP, PvT. PvZ, it would be more of a contain with a forge where he kind of cannons the bottom of the ramp, I think. But in this scenario, Kua sees that gold base. Kua's got tanks up. Depth's in range, but it doesn't really matter, does it? And that siege tank will push back, dealing with the shield batteries. ASTREA has to fall back for now. This SCV still staying alive. Very well done by Kua. Twilight Council behind this. ASTREA's going to try and transition. I don't know, man. It's such a scary counter push that could come out of your opponent, but because your opponent's kind of stuck on one base, I mean, you could try to get Blink, but I feel like Charge has got to be the way to go. Just go straight up to that fighting army that can actually deal with your opponent's army as they're coming to you. Gets one SCV. Can he get another one? Yes, he can. 4 Adepts. Going to try and run circles in here, but I think he needs to save for recall, man. Gets a Marine. Gets another Marine. The Adepts. Another one goes down. If he could kill an SCV or 2, maybe. He's not really focus firing. Recall does go down. Zealot on the front runs up. The siege tank is still siege, though. Damages the reactor in the depot with the splash damage. Doesn't do too much else. Gonna go extra gateways. Charge does start up. Gold base is here. Recall the probes, maybe? Or he's just gonna transfer. He's just gonna transfer down there. Cure still building tanks and marines. He's super turtled up right now. He's playing such a safe game. He's only got 7 marines right now, but the command center will finish. He's weathered the storm, and the transition for ASTREA is awkward. Oh, I was wondering where the marines were, but a medevac got out. No stim or anything like that. He could just run in here. I think that's a really good idea. And then you could always pick up and boost into the main. What do you got to do? There's 4 adepts right now? Nothing that shoots up on the entire map, guys. Oh my god. He cancelled his 2 stalkers he was building earlier. He does warp into here. But that means you got nothing in the main. Oh no, no shield battery in the main, no units in the main, no recall available right now. Uh-oh. He's going to warp in a single zealot. Well, I'll tell you what a zealot does to 7, 8 marines and a medevac, guys. Nothing. Those 7 marines are just going to kill this zealot so easily. He's going to try and run away along with the probes. The stalkers are back here. They can, of course, target the medevac and try to get some damage. Warps in more units there, but now this base is low on defense. Now, the medevac does still just sit there, and the stalker will get a hit off on it. Back at home, he's going to go... Oh, cloaked banshees! Oh, that's the last thing you'd expect right now. And guess what? Q just got a full scout. He sees you're playing 3-gate, 4-gate, 5-gate, plus Twilight. You're skipping the Robo, you're skipping the Stargate, and without an Oracle or a Phoenix, or a Blink and Robo, Observer or Oracle for detection, then you're going to lose all of that. The Banshee's just going to come on in. And ASTREA is so worried about the frontal push that comes out. He's just making zealots, he's adding Blink, he's trying to play really low economy. He can't really afford a lot of tech. He's like, look, I just got to make zealots. Survive this push when it comes out. We'll be good. Come on, man. He's going to put down double forge now so that he can build cannons. The Banshee's already almost here, and he has not even started a cannon. Oh, Probe does see this coming. He's going to move the stalkers over there. Banshee, though, can just instantly cloak, and the battery starts. Forge is only halfway built, and ASTREA just taps out. He knows he's been done. Oh, GG. All right, nice hold there from Kua with the game 1 victory. And guys, I actually I spoke to ASTREA after that last game, and I was like, dude, Kua, oh, really good cheese defense, didn't he? And ASTREA said, yeah, I kind of forgot that the patch nerfed the shield battery, so yeah, that's not as good of a build as it once was. Maybe not my best choice. And I was like, no way, dude. I was like, yeah. I wouldn't have minded the build if he didn't commit to the shield battery still. Just, you know, siege him with the zealots. But he could have got a Nexus up so much quicker if he didn't commit to those batteries and those extra adepts. Get the Nexus down, then build a few stalkers or adepts. A little bit of an issue. Now ASTREA's going to come across with that gateway scout. You can see he's walling off this area so that the Reaper can only jump in on that side. Just means that Kua can be a bit less annoying. Probe does come on in, starts to attack that SCV. 3 hits before the other SCV comes in. He wants to go in to double check that there's only 1 gas geyser. If there's a second gas, of course, Kua can be rushing up that tech tree. It's going to push you down a different game plan. In this scenario where it looks like a very normal build from Kua, you're more likely as ASTREA to just play like Twilight into a quick third base, 2 gateways only, you know, play nice and greedy. Now, it's actually a reactor first for Kua as we can see, but ASTREA not really prioritizing blocking this. Waiting till a minute 43. Misses out on the block. I think it's a little lazy for him. Does see the reactor. And that tells you already as ASTREA, you're playing Kua. If you've studied Kua half as much as I have, and guys, I've learned a lot about Terran from Kua. I cast maybe 4,000 of his games while I was playing Terran and grinding really hard trying to improve them. So I've studied his play a lot. He's always going to go 3 racks after that. There is a 96.3% chance that we see 2 more barracks go down. I'm doubting myself now, guys. God damn it! I told you. Well, I didn't say 100%. This is the 3.3% time that he actually goes factory after reactor first. All right, buddy. Does keep it a bit randomized, and that's very good for him because that means ASTREA might be thinking, oh, reactor first. There can be a lot of Marines built out of this. Could be a quick 3 racks behind this. Real nice play, but just gonna go. Wait, is that? Twilight Council, yeah. So very standard Twilight Council build. Adept goes across the map, and Robo. No, second gateway in the wall. Okay, very nice. Ooh, ambush. The Marines. ASTREA, I hope you're watching. ASTREA, and he is very tight. He can go. He could actually finish this shade, see if he gets the SCV, and then get out because those Marines were so far forward. And this delays the orbital by a second. SCV, of course, pops in, pops out, gets back to mining. And he should be just fine. He actually should have moved to the left there to evade those Marines. Almost dies, but does keep the Adept alive. Q is going to hunt that down, though. You got it. He's coming for you. Yeah. You know he's coming for you, man. He's going to try and get inside, but good raise on the depot. Widow mines are being built. Blink is on the way, and the 2-gate into the Robo. Very standard play for ASTREA, who will move out to take the third at about 4 minutes and 15 seconds. Now, knowing ASTREA, he's most likely going to be playing a third and fourth gas very early. This is super fast, 335. And he's also going to be going, and this is off what, just 2 gateway units? So he doesn't even have a third gateway unit. Super low on the units. And yeah, he's just basically going to go Colossus, third base, off the back of a handful of Blink Stalkers. So he's kind of balancing a lot of tech and a quick expansion rate all at the same time. And you can see that pylon perfectly timed. Just as he hits the 46 supply block, pylon finishes. So 3 Widow Mine drop going to be moving out across the map. Behind it, the second barracks goes down. Not a very quick second barracks, keep in mind, because he's been building Marines almost non-stop off that reactor first. He's actually delayed his barracks because he's got so much Marine production coming out. Also isn't dropping mules immediately right now. A little slow on those. Definitely should be dropping a few more of those. Keeping that SCV and mule production up. Widow Mine drop, though, could be big. Just remember, though, 5 Stalkers can 2-shot a medevac. Get out, get out, get out, get out! Cure! No! Oh, and Blink was almost done as well. So, oh, look at that. He just dodges. Oh, complete shutdown. Just 5 Stalkers. Some would say that's greedy, but check it out, guys. He's got a Robo Bay almost finished to start Colossus. Has a third base starting. An Observer going across the map, and he shut down the Terran Pressure to start. This is like ridiculously good opening for ASTREA. He's in such a nice position. Cure. He's going to go for that command center now by the looks of it. That SCV up there? No? Okay. Just a third barracks. Maybe a depot build on the edge. For now, Engineering Bay going up in the back. Cure definitely going to be playing from behind after this. Observer comes in. Raven may have spotted it for a moment. Moves out on the left side. Stalker's going to come in. Magic number. 4 Stalkers able to one-shot Marines and SCVs. The Raven going around the left. Very good move. I think ASTREA saw that Raven head in that direction, so he's actually racing up here. Now, where does he go? I think he's going to try and cut it off. Yeah, he's going to go here, try to catch the Raven coming across and kill it. Oh, that's really nice. Now, of course, a Raven is not an armored unit, so the Stalker's only going to do 13 damage a shot to it. It has a good 140 hit points, so it should be able to get out. Cure. Oh, great reaction, man. Dude, many Terran players would have lost that Raven, but always keeping his eyes out. Very well done. Colossus number 1 is out. Number 2 starting. Forge is there, going up to 4 gateways as well. It's a very low gateway build for ASTREA, so he's still going to be rather fragile when Stim kicks in. But you give him about a minute past that. Once he gets 8 or 9 minutes, he's just got so much stuff out on the map. So the Stalkers are still out here. He's trying to stop the Raven escaping and going home, but he's also trying to stop it there as well. Looks like the Observer did go down. As you can hear from ASTREA's vision, he does have the Diva voice pack on. It's part of the secret to his success. It's nothing like having a high-pitched Overwatch character in your ears to really just make you feel like winning the video game super hard. A lot of people say, that's annoying, that's distracting. You guys just don't know the power of fighting for your favorite e-girl. What can I say, mate? ASTREA knows that Diva will be pleased if he can win these video games. And that's what he lives for. Double drop moving out the left to reinforce over here. Raven's going to join up with the army, so he escorts the Raven out of the corner of the map. Talk about a rescue party, saving Private Raven over there. And okay, this is Tom Hanks Marauder leading the charge. Got a whole big army there. Marine Marauder, Widow Mine tank coming over. Still got some interference matrix available. 2 are about to tick over. You got 3 Colossus and you've got force fields. But if you can get a warp prism out, you can dodge the interference matrix. That would be huge. Now, I've many times talked about how Naniwa doesn't believe that's a real move that anyone's ever pulled off before, but despite Naniwa thinking that, I guarantee you it is, guys. 3 Colossus coming forward. Here come the charge lots, but the tank. Cure with a very nice setup. He says, come and fight into my terrible position, mate. Come and fight me. Double drop loads up. He's going to boost in towards this army to reinforce. Denying the 4th base. Seems to be what Q is content with for now. 4th and 5th barracks are about to finish. That command center about to be up. Looks like a Zealot or 2 ran in from the left side. ASTREA, you got to be careful of that Raven. The double interference matrix could smack you. Keep an eye on that Raven, guys. Here we go. ASTREA going Zealots from the left, Zealots from the right. Oh, the Raven does go down there. The Stalker's blinking forward and sniping it. One Matrix landed. You could see ASTREA tried to dodge the other Matrix, but I actually think that it never even went off there for Cure in that fight. And Cure's going to try to run home. Run. He's trying to get out of there. ASTREA's chasing him back. This is a really good turn of events. Now, keep in mind, this army is very exposed. If you flank this with Marine Marauder, you get it in the open, you could surround it. But if you're only coming from one angle, the force fields are going to be deadly. Well, not a bad Widow Mine. Splashes 5 of those units. Zealot, Stalker, Colossus. This is a scary moment for Cure. There's enough Zealots that it's really hard. And his Marines are a little bit in front of his Marauders. You don't want that. Oh, dude. And the hold position on the Zealots as well, so they don't just charge into the fire. But there's still a lot of bio left over. ASTREA a little too slow to stutter step those Colossus. And does lose 2 of them, but you know what? It comes at a hefty price. It's a lot of Terran units that go down there. Nice blink to bait out the Widow Mines. There's another Widow Mine there, which he may not have spotted just yet. Third base has just landed. It's got no SCVs at it. But ASTREA, even just rallying across the map, he's got a very powerful position right now, and I don't really see Cure being able to deal with this. Starts to tag those Zealots. The concussive shells do catch one of them. Stalker's going to run in. Goes for the Marauder. Doesn't quite get it. Good job, Medevac. 4th base is now finished for ASTREA. He's got +2 weapons on the way. He's going up to 10 gateways, a 2nd forge. Still only on 1 robo right now, which I would characterize as being a slight misstep. I think he should be adding that 2nd robo now that he's on 4 base. Viking gets taken down. Good micro by ASTREA here, just chipping away at this Terran force. You can see he's transferred out of his main already. So he's got a decent number of probes on that 4th base, harnessing the power of 69 probes for just a moment in time before eclipsing it. An extra Colossus, a Warp Prism comes out. 2nd Forge is going to be finishing up in the near future. Archon's being added in against a player whose Ghost Academy is not quite done. Cure, behind the curve on the tech, in the economy, and the army. He's got to make some magic happen. If I were him, I'd be doing Widow Mine drops right now, because that's always the comeback play. When you're behind, Widow Mine drops is a low investment that can really do big damage and get you back in the game. But getting caught with your Widow Mines out in the open is not so good. He gets a Stalker with one of them, but 2 more Widow Mines do go down for free. Spready, spinny, flippy, woo! Does pull back. The bio needs to get out of here, man. Especially as this 2nd Colossus comes over, that's a problem. 2 Zealots running the left side, they get 3 SCVs. One of the Zealots survives, he can come back later. This is still a very scary army. Warp Prism's joining, as is this other Colossus. You can see it was rallied over to an Archon. He's just going to go for it. ASTREA's going to dive. He feels he has the numbers. He says, let's go for it. Let's push in a bunch of the bio. Just got pulled out to the left to chase off 2 Zealots. I might as well just push right here, right now, before you have the Ghost Tech to EMP the Archons. Archons, such meaty, gigantic sacks of shields. So hard for the Terran player to tear his way through. And ASTREA realizes his timing is here. It's now. The Vikings just rallying into the Stalker Archon. The Colossus are still working beautifully from 9 range, and ASTREA tying up the series 1-1. We're just going to go back really quickly because I do want to look at that. I remember I cast this game live, but I didn't get in the 2nd lobby, so I just wanted to double check that interference matrix micro. Let's take a little glance. What happened with that? I feel like I looked at this when I cast it live, and I can't remember. I think he did it on a Stalker accidentally. So this fight's going to happen in about 20-30 seconds. Here he goes. So ASTREA's committing. Let's watch this Raven, guys. So I know Interference Matrix is one of them, and I think ASTREA here is quickly trying to pick up and dodge the Interference Matrix. Okay, so Interference Matrix is 1 Colossus, and I don't think he gets the 2nd one off. The Raven gets focused down before getting the 2nd one off. And you can see ASTREA here quickly tries to dodge, but he picked up the wrong Colossus. And he clicked on the other, he accidentally clicked on the wrong Colossus. So it was really late because the Warp Prism wasn't even in range. So that's why it picked it up so late. Good micro attempt from ASTREA. And maybe this game would be different if he got the double interference matrix off, but it was always going to be a hard fight with those Zealots overwhelming him. Let's go game 3. Tough turn of events in the last game, but he's going to fight hard here on Hardwire. It's Cure, representing Dragon Phoenix Gaming in the top right. Of course, his opponent, Alpha X ASTREA, in the bottom left. Going to be walling off this area over here, most likely, so the Reaper can't jump in as easily. Gateway there. Cybercore there is actually not a full wall off, I don't think, but oh, I can put it there, right. He spam clicks on the bot to make sure that doesn't block any of his buildings. Cure, just going for the barracks at home. No proxy barracks today against ASTREA. Maybe he has experienced ASTREA countering that really effectively. And I guess Q is one of the more standard openers in TvP. Like, he will mix in the proxy racks, but only when he thinks it's the right thing to do against the opponent. Otherwise, he is quite happy to play a more standard build. Checking for the eBay block, ASTREA, dotting his I's, crossing his T's, and making sure everything is in order. Does not want to get caught out by having his base blocked. He's even checking for a proxy barracks before going back to build that Nexus. Question is it Cybercore or Nexus first? Find out in just a moment. Looks like it's Nexus. Nexus before Cybercore. And no scout? He's going to scout for proxies again. So he's saying, look, I'll scout, put down my Cybercore, and that probe will get back in time to put the pylon down. He's got to get back there right now, though. Queues up a probe. So it should be 21 pylons. How do you time this out? He queues up the gas first before the pylon. That's not right. It's going to be pylon before gas. ASTREA. Oh, no, he actually went Nexus before core, didn't he? Never mind, I'm a dummy, guys. For some reason, I thought he was playing Cybercore first. I have the memory of a goldfish. Of course, guys, the second gas goes down before the pylon if you went Nexus before Cybercore, and the opposite. If they go Cybercore first, then obviously you'd need to be able to build an Adept earlier, so you need to get the pylon before the second gas. Just a little flippity flip. I think it was a regional game in Oceania where Probe messed that up one game. Went core first and still did it the other order, and a proxy Reaper killed like 5 probes and he just left the game. And I was like, so, did you just do the thing that I do on ladder all the time? And he's like, yes. And I was like, that sucks, man. I was like, every Protoss player has done this. even in a tournament. It's just, if you play Nexus before Cybercore 95% of the time, sometimes you just sink into that old habit without even thinking about it. And the Adept is going to shade forward across this map. Stalker's about to come out. We've got the Twilight Council going to finish in a sec. Q's got a starport down. Double Hellion. Does he go for the Hellion drop, or does he swap into Widow Mines after the Hellions is more standard these days? People like to poke with the Hellions, threaten, force a bit of a defensive stance, and then in come the 4 Widow Mine drop. Obviously, this Adept's got to be careful. You'd want to shade backwards in this scenario and turn and fight the Hellions. So there we go. Shades backwards, and then he just tries to focus fire one of the Hellions. Because you say, hey, my shields will regenerate on my own. Yeah, you'll do some damage to me, but you're going to have to go back and repair that. So Adept takes some unhealing damage, but its shields will regenerate. You can see when it's out of combat for 5 seconds. Regenerates. Likewise, the Hellion has to get repaired. Loses a little bit of mining time for that as well. And it is indeed looking like it's going to be a 4 Widow Mine drop. Blink into second gate, Robo, and a... Oh, it's not a full wall, guys, but it's a Hellion wall. Hellions are a bit chunky. They can't get through their probes. Adepts, Marines, Reapers can run back and forwards through there, but Hellions cannot. This is going to allow ASTREA to take a third Nexus, which is, of course, not vulnerable to a Hellion drop or run by. And he can just basically focus on defending whatever gets dropped inside his base, which, as we can see, it's going to be 4 Widow Mines. This is such a clever adjustment for ASTREA. I love it. Just a little diagonal Hellion wall there. 4 Stalkers and an Adept. Remember, guys, you do need 9 Stalker shots to kill a medevac. So 4 Stalkers is kind of the wrong number. Now, his Twilight Council, his blink is not that early. It's actually not that late either. 1 more chrono in that, and it would finish real soon. The medevac with the Widow Mines is waiting. He's got 6 Stalkers. It's enough to 2-shot the medevac, but he's got to react fast. Hellions try to come in the front. That wall-off is stopping them. And good micro by Cure. It's going to do a bit of a shuffle, I think. And there we go. So 1 Widow Mine will die, but the Observer will come over. The medevac's trying to kind of bait them in right now. He's going to have to get these 2 out. Oh, he's just going to pick up 1 and save it. Nicely done by ASTREA. Hellions still in the natural. And it looks like these Stalkers will shut them down. Especially if they blink after them, they could get them. And, oh yeah, focuses the one that was further away. Gets both Hellions. Single Widow Mine in the back. So ASTREA here with a clean hold so far. He's got that 3rd base finishing up soon as well, which is massive. He did lose a lot of mining time in his main. You can see the income graph for the last minute massively in Cure's favor as this main base abandoned. But in terms of the units lost, Cure is the one who's actually losing Hellions, Widow Mines, whereas very few Protoss units have actually gone down. Got 3 barracks and an engineering bay, a factory, and a starport all up as well. Ooh, and he actually pulls the probes and the Stalkers and guns it down. Nicely done. Almost gets the medevac as well. That's pretty much dead. Unlikely that gets out of there. Q are going to send the Raven down the right side. Him and Beyond love this maneuver. They love that Raven getting in the back and starting to harass. You can see though, ASTREA is actually watching for it to pass in behind there. And the 3 barracks follow-up versus Blink into charge. Robo Bay, 3rd and 4th gateway. Raven's going to drop an auto turret. Needs to be a quick pull for ASTREA. And he's going to get at least 3, maybe 4 probes. Okay, just 3 for the first one. Not bad. Bit of mining time as well. Stalkers at the front. Look at this. He's sending some stalkers out the sides to kind of patrol, see if any drops go out. And the other stalkers at the front. The magic number, 4 stalkers, enough to one-shot Marines. So any early poke out will get punished. That medevac, get back here! Gets it. 4 more gateways, 6 more gateways going down. So going all the way to 8 gateways. No forge just yet. Another auto turret does come in. Gets only 1 kill. Great reaction by ASTREA. Cancels the shield battery. That was going to die. And oh, he does get 1 more. Not bad. Probe popping out in the bad spot. 3rd command center is almost finished here for Cure. Cure definitely could play a macro game. I don't think he's so far behind that he's going to be dead or anything if that's the case. He's picked off probes. He's lost. He's killed a lot of ASTREA's mining time. He's going to 5 barracks. He's got all of his like different upgrades on the way. That forge is still not gone down for ASTREA. So the upgrade lead is very real. If he queues up +1 straight away, he can keep that going all game. Question for ASTREA, has he seen the 3rd command center? Oh, he hasn't. So ASTREA is very light on information in this game. This observer needs to shove forward, man. I think he's being way too defensive in his stance. And he doesn't realize that Cure is actually kind of just chilling. So ASTREA is staying really low tech. Now he goes double forge because he's like, where the hell is this push? It's just not coming. And yeah, it's definitely something he's got to be kind of chill on. Now the observer sees this army. Could move forward to greet it. He's got charge zealots and colossus. Q is just doing really passive roaming for map control right now. Stalker and the hallucination go down. They do see the 3rd base getting transferred to, though. Double drop on the left side. They'll start to clear up this probe in this pylon. A massive zealot run by going in. And actually, the tanks are in the open, guys. If he gets on those tanks, that'd be a huge pick off. Cure a little greedy right now. He thought ASTREA would really respect the fact that he's out of the map with the drops, but ASTREA does not. And look at that. Oh, the tanks go down. SCVs are falling. The bio getting overrun, but oh no! What the hell? His Colossus, he tried to go to defend his main and his Colossus just moved out in the middle of nowhere. And now he's distracted on the right side, which means that Colossus is still derping around up in his main base, guys. Sentries get gunned down over there. 7 probes have died. There's Widow Mines burrowing all over the shop. ASTREA does dodge that Widow Mine. But look, yet again, another Colossus out in the middle of nowhere. Oh, ASTREA, this is so bad. And remember, the reason for that is because of his cute Hellion wall earlier in the game. That being said, guys, the Zealots killed 20 SCVs. Oh my god. So he did devastating damage to Cure's economy. But guys, it's because he had the Reaper wall. By the way, he did just lose his Robo. So the Reaper wall is now removed, but he's also lost all Robo production. So he's just got 1 Colossus and Stalker Zealots. 1/1 upgrades are on the way, but he desperately needs to go double Robo now. So when he clicked back into his main, his Colossus could not path there through the Reaper wall. So they tried to run down this way. Huge mistake from ASTREA. What should have been, I think, a pretty easy cleanup for him turned into a little bit of a disastrous position. Losing the Robo, losing 2 Colossus. Definitely not what he was looking for. 49 SCVs versus 60. I think that's okay for Cure. I mean, it's obviously bad to lose all those SCVs, but if he doesn't miss a beat in his production, keeps transferring from the main, and especially if he drops a 4th command center soon. Remember that he reset the Robotech and killed the Colossus as well as the Robos themselves. So I really don't feel like there's any real threat coming out of ASTREA in the next minute or two. For Cure, the way to build on this position is to actually say, hey, I'm going to go 4th CC, 2nd eBay, Armory, Ghost Academy. Right now, though, it looks like he's doing the opposite, and he's cutting SCV production and just committing to the attack. So he's playing the more aggressive branch, which, I mean, it could work out. There's only 1 Colossus. Disrupt a Stargate for ASTREA. ASTREA is building a Stargate just so we can get a single Void Ray or Phoenix to kill this drop. That is what I call some noob shit, guys. There is no reason to be wasting so much investment. 150, 150 in the Stargate, that is something that I would do in this scenario. He should not be doing. Interference Matrix from behind, but he's got the battery here as long as the Colossus doesn't walk in the front. That Zealot warp-in got cancelled, man. Oh, he's doing it again. Okay, the Colossus gets to the back of the army. The Stalker Zealot Colossus doing okay. He needs to pull down the rest of his units. They're making their way here. With only 1 Colossus, that is a problem. 2 Zealots run into the 3rd base. 2 SCVs go down and some mining time. Oh, I think the tail end of this fight looks very good for ASTREA. That being said, he loses the Colossus. And I don't think he could pick up because of that. Oh, man. loses a medevac. The other medevacs look like they will barely get out of here. Blink gets one more empty medevac. Still though, Cure is up in supply, but remember that his economy is not great. What's just happened? Ooh, 7 probes, 8 probes. Not bad. That drop in the back actually got some damage. He's building that single Phoenix I was talking about. Massive waste of money. Massive waste of money. Oh, I guess it's because the Raven was there as well. So it was the two things. And a Disruptor gets caught out. So he wanted to get rid of the Raven and the drop in the back. I guess it makes a little bit more sense there. But still, I think just a shield battery in each base was enough to defend the Raven. Now, okay, ASTREA really letting things slip by him. He's down 20 army supplies. It's a very scary force. Remember, though, Kua doesn't have a 4th base. He kind of needs to do damage right now. These Widow Mines. Oh, none of the Widow Mines burrow inside my burp and excitement into my microphone. And I think this might be a hold for ASTREA, but no battery. The DT. That DT could really help out. Kua hasn't noticed the DT getting extra damage in. On the other hand, it's just Stalker Zealot up against Bio. The scan does come in. More Zealots warping in, but the medevacs healing their minds out. Those medevacs are almost out of energy. There's no Colossus here. This is it. You need to defend this base. One Colossus waddles over here for ASTREA. An Observer goes down, but ASTREA holds onto his 4th. A DT walks into the 3rd of Kua. Gets 2 SCVs. Missile Turret and Marauders should be able to take it out, and indeed they do. Sentry warps in 2 Colossus building right now. These Stalkers are in trouble. ASTREA warps in 5 very valuable units, and depowering the battery and the Robo. Dude, the Bio's doing very nicely. He's going to get another Robo here, but committing to that in range of the Stalker Colossus, I think, was a little dicey. Q has got to get these units home, man. He's losing a lot of Marauders. That's a very expensive trade. I think that fight, even though we got the Robo, not that good. Meanwhile, 2-2 just kicked in 3-3, immediately powering up. ASTREA, it feels like his tech has gone to Poop Town, especially losing his 2nd Robo. But then you look at the upgrades and you realize 3-3s on the way versus a 1-1 Terran. Remember that Kua did not get that 4th command center, guys. He's now going 2nd eBay Armory, but without a 4th command center, he's oversaturated on just 2 mineral lines. He's trying to float a 3rd out to the front and just keep up this aggressive momentum. He's playing a tempo style, but I'm telling you this, guys. If there's a Guardian Shield and +3 armor Zealot, that is going to be a Zealot that has +2 armor on top of the 4 that it already has. That's a 6 armor Zealot versus a +1 Marine. That means it's going to take 135, roughly, Marine shots to kill a Zealot. Basically 100 shots just to get through the hit points. Shields obviously not being as tanky as they don't have all that armor, but absolutely insane, man. So if +3 armor kicks in, and that will kick in before +2 attack, and there's a big Zealot versus Bio fight, I think the Zealots will win so one-sidedly, it'll be laughable. DT blink is finished. DT does pick off that turret. Other DTs go into this base. Gonna try and pick off some of these units. That DT baits a scan, blinks away. Oh, ASTREA, you cheeky one. Cheeky one. He's gonna get out of this turret range as well. Really? No, a bit lazy because he's getting pushed. Oh, Kua tried to push in, but it looks like he left a lot of dead Terran there. That is not the angle you want to be fighting in, mate. The DTs are still alive, being dickheads. This base pretty undefended right now, but those DTs are out in the open. Kua should be able to spot those, and he does. They try to blink away, but they're blinking into this missile turret and more Bio on the right side. 3 and 3, inching closer and closer. It's 80 seconds out, and we've got double disruptors as well. So 3 Colossus, double disruptor production, 2 already out. 10 Zealots, 11 Stalkers. It's a very healthy army for ASTREA, and Kua never opted for that later stage, going the double engineering bay when he's barely on 3 base economy, and was a little bit questionable, and he's going to get punished. His army moving to the left side of the map, he's just going to get wiped, dude. This 3rd base gets absolutely ransacked, and the thing is, ASTREA, he can just quickly recall over here. He knows this army's here. His Phoenix sees it. You should just group, recall to that left side, and he's got this one in the bag. ASTREA... Oh no, he messed up his recall. He recalled like 8 Stalkers. They're not useful units at all. He does have 3 Disruptors, but, oh, okay. Throws out some balls. He hits 4 Ghosts with 1 ball. The other 2 didn't do much. Oh, 9 probes do go down. Not bad. He's going to get the Nexus as Kua. I think it's time for Kua to leave. He gets 2 Disruptors. More Disruptor shots come forward, though. Oh, more Bio Ghost goes down there. The Stalkers are going to blink forward. EMPs have obviously blanketed the entire Protoss army. Time to just get out of there with Medevacs, Kua. Time to get out of there with the Medevacs. The Vikings come in, extra Bio from the right side. They run into the Zealots, but the Medevacs, oh no, boosting back through the army. Oh, Kua, embracing his inner hero, does a little bit of that F2 magic and drags those Medevacs to a very dangerous scenario. I can't believe these 2 Marauders survived in there. Very lucky for him now. Whoa, that's a big Widow Mine. Ow. stumbling into these Widow Mines on the map. There's no observers out right now. He does have 2 robos again, but he's got to get building observers, does ASTREA. That being said, Cure, he's only now about to reland his 3rd base up here. DT's walking in, immediately going to cause him trouble. ASTREA should absolutely just be constantly sending these Dark Templar into the expansions. He's got this base on the right side, rebuilding the 4th there. And 3-3 is finished, remember those upgrades. It's still 3-3 versus 2-2 right now. Multiple scans getting baited out by a single DT. Oh, it's dirty, man. Oh, these DTs have baited so many scans out of Cure. It's even less mules she desperately needs in this low economy situation. Let's start taking out SCVs. 6 SCVs, 8 SCVs go down. The DTs blink on the Marines, but an EMP and some landed Vikings say, hey, dickhead, nah. Nah, mate. Does get some of them. Scan gets one of the DTs, and another one goes down. Snipe and a scan to take him. 2-2 is going to kick in. Alright, it's only 2 upgrades behind now, which means the Marines are going to do 2 damage a shot to a Guardian Shielded Zealot, guys. Not 1. Twice as effective in that scenario. Disruptors being used as budget observers right now to take out the Widow Mines. 71 probes. I think ASTREA is stabilized in the late game now. And he's up against a Terran player, Cure, who has just refused to build command centers. He's played the momentum style. ASTREA's hung on well enough, and I think he's now just out of control, because every second that Cure refused to build a 4th base meant that his economy was just going to be dipping. And if we look at that income graph, you can see over the last 6 minutes, even the last 10 minutes, ASTREA has largely been in the advantage with some massive income spikes in his favor. Oof, those EMPs, not something you really want to headbutt into. DT's blinking in the mineral line. They're going to, once again, hide behind, at least force another scan out. And ASTREA is going to wait for these shields to regenerate. You see, after you cop an EMP like that, guys, disengage for a good 30 seconds, let all the shields recover, and then go in again. And if you can avoid the EMPs, or if they ever get caught without any ghost energy available, sometimes that EMP that a lot of pros are like, oh, you never have shields, it's useless. There are scenarios these top pros regularly create for themselves where it actually is not the case. And Widow Mine is going to fire there in the middle of those disruptors. Good spready so far, but already balls landing on the Drilly Boy line. And even more balls on the Bayou. You don't want to run into this Cure. Cure, no, don't do it, Cure, don't do it. Don't do it, for the love of God. Oh no, he's doing that angry Diamond Terran thing. You know when you play an angry Diamond Terran player, and then they just chase your army through a choke point, down or up a ramp, into disruptor shots? Cure just did the angry Diamond Terran player thing. Oh no. Oh, I mean, he was in a pretty bad spot. He kind of desperately needed to defend this base, but that was not it. Walks into the balls. It's a field filled with rakes that just keeps kicking up, smacking him in the face. And ASTREA there with a fantastic game. I think what was so amazing and hilarious about this game to me is the ingenuity of the Hellion Wall-Off being such a clever move for ASTREA, and then following it up by it backfiring and literally meaning his Colossus walked in the wrong direction at, like, what was it, 8 minutes or something. That's actually so funny to see. It's because, yeah, it's about this point where he's like, cool. At some point, you're going to see him grab these units and click them in his main base. Yeah, so he clicks these guys in his main. Even the Stalkers can't get inside, guys. He doesn't even click in his main. He actually just clicks right there. So the Stalkers are just derping around, and the Colossus are like, well, we actually can get there. Stalkers can't fit through this wall either, by the way, guys. The Colossus are like, we can walk up this ledge, around, and obviously not exactly what he was intending for. So the Reaper wall, or Hellion wall, so good in the early game, and then so bad when it backfired against him. He should have killed that pylon by now, and ouch. Very well played by both players, but ASTREA takes the 2-1.